Hello. So you may already know, but tomorrow there is going to be a special chain breeding event for the legendary Fall Dragon. And so the Fall Dragon has not been available for quite a while now because it was at one point a Dragon of the Month, but it will be coming back in a chain breeding event for a very short period of time. So we're going to be going through how to breed it today so that you can be nice and prepped for tomorrow, or technically when the actual event starts and when you can get the dragons required for it, because like most chain breeding events, actually getting the dragons required can be kind of a pain. So just before that, the Fall Dragon, if you were curious, it is indeed a legendary light and plant dragon. It does have 243 health and 81 base attack, as you can see here. So overall, it's actually quite a good one. Slightly buffed stats, which makes it better than things like the Pixie Dot by a little bit. But plant and light are both pretty decent elements depending on where you want to use them. So overall, the Fall Dragon is actually not too bad of a dragon at all. And so this is the post that the DML Facebook page posted about 10 hours ago, where it said, just in time for the leaves to turn brown. Tomorrow you can try to breed the Fall Dragon. A new chain breeding event starts tomorrow at 12 PM GMT. So remember, that is GMT time. To be in with a chance, you need to breed together the Libra dragon and the new Scarf dragon. So to actually have a chance of breeding this dragon, you need to have the legendary dragon of the month, which is the Libra dragon, and the Scarf dragon. The Scarf dragon being the reward for the upcoming solo event. So realistically, if you fully complete that solo event, you're only going to have a couple of days max to try and breed for it. But in the meantime, of course, you've got the chance to keep breeding for Libra. But when you're doing long breeds and things like that, you can sort of screw over your progress during the solo event. So ideally, you should already have the Libra dragon. I don't. I'm sure a lot of people out there don't either. But those are the two dragons that you need to be able to breed the Fall Dragon. And so, when you breed these two together, I would obviously recommend that you level them up to around about level 15 minimum, level 20 plus if you can, because like I can easily afford it. Main reason I suggest that is because if we go onto the DML planner here, which shows us the calculation for these two, you will see that there is actually a 0.6% chance to breed our Fall Dragon at the bottom here. 0.6 if you've got the Mech Dragon's breeding token active, and if you've got the TQ Dragon that you can potentially breed, that will actually diminish the odds even further. But the Fall Dragon is 0.61% base chance to be bred, which is incredibly low. Like, how many other outcomes is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. Is that 35 different outcomes? I wanted to go through it just so that you understand how difficult this breed is going to be. So, as it is a chain breeding event, and the chances are going to be incredibly low, and the amount of time that you actually get to do it is going to also be quite low, you are going to need a lot of luck. So I highly recommend that you level up these two main guys. I mean, if you don't breed the Fall Dragon, it's not going to be the end of the world, but I mean, it looks pretty cool. He's literally made of leaves, and you know, if you didn't have him before, I'm sure you can get bragging rights like, oh, I bred him through the chain breeding event, haha. I luckily don't really have to worry about that, but if you are interested in breeding the Fall Dragon, that is pretty much everything that you should need to know. Of course, if you've got a second breeding den, it can be useful if you're going for different breeds at the same time. But since you need a Libra and a Scarf Dragon, you're only really going to be able to take advantage of one breeding den anyway, so that's probably not going to help you. If you do have any double egg relics though, highly recommend you use them during the your breeding time for the Fall Dragon, because they'll give you the opportunity to potentially choose the egg that you want instead of being left with something horrific. And also, don't forget that you can take advantage of things like Chronos, so make sure you've got Chronos available if you can. If you're still unlocking relics, or if you've unlocked some, make sure that you save the special speed skip-up timers for an opportunity like this. to give yourself the best possible chance of breeding these dragons. You know, with all of the random relics and things like that we get from the dungeon, this is why I recommend that you take the double egg relics, that you take the breeding relics and things like that, because whenever you see them, it might coincide with some of these special chain breeding events, maybe other breeding events, and they will help you tremendously during those time periods. So overall, that should be everything that you need to know about breeding the full dragon. But if you do need any other help, or you're confused about anything, let me know. But I would say, even though it is difficult to actually breed the dragon, you need to get the prerequisite dragons of Libra and the Scarf Dragon first, which is going to be quite tough in and of itself, not gonna lie. So for everyone that does already have the Libra dragon, at least it takes that sort of, you know, I guess stress out of the situation. But I still think that chain breeding events, they should give a few extra days on top of what we're used to, because I don't know, dude. Expecting people to finish off the solo events and get the monthly dragon bred if they don't have it already, and then go and breed another dragon, it's really unlikely. But I guess they do it that way so that then, for the people that do manage to breed it, they can, again, go, haha, I bred it, I'm so cool, haha. That's sort of what the Divine Chest Dragons feel like sometimes. And plus, you know, with loads of time dragons, it's also going to push people to potentially, you know, spend some extra gems and things like that. But it is what it is. But remember that this is all starting tomorrow, not today, it is Thursday. It will start on Friday as per usual. And just before the event starts up, I'm actually going to be live streaming. I'm going to start live streaming about an hour before all of the other events come out, so that then, you know, we can get into the day. If there are any problems with, you know, getting everything set up with the live stream, then we got time before the actual events start. So if you want to come and hop on in, then that is going to be at midday BST, so that's British Summer Time. I don't know what the time is going to be for you, but I will be live streaming tomorrow for you. Is that fun? It's like every time I decide to live stream, I plan on doing so many live streams, but then things just get in the way. But at the moment, aside from Borderlands, I've been relatively free, so I do plan on doing that now. Who knows, maybe we'll have a live stream every second day. Anything is possible, my friends. But, you know, I enjoy interacting with you guys live rather than having to wait like 6 hours to respond to your messages and comments because I don't see them. You know, Discord's also really good for that as an application, but, you know, people like to be able to say things and hear it in the live stream. I get you. I understand. Who knows, maybe we'll end up breeding a Libra on stream, or maybe we'll end up breeding that Sentinel dragon, because I still haven't bred the Sentinel, by the way. You know, people sometimes like to think that my luck is just like crazy good because I get all of the dragons that I want all the time. But it's not true at all. Sometimes, just like everyone else, I go through massive spells where I just have really bad luck, which is often, you know, made up for because there are times where I do have insanely good luck, like crazy good luck. Like, there have been times, I think, where I bred 3 or 4 legendaries in a row, one after the other, and then I bred like 11 Gemini betas, I think it was. So, I know that I do get lucky sometimes. Just don't look at me and go, how can you complain about your luck, Quacks? Look, I haven't bred the Sentinel yet. Haven't bred the Libra yet. It's been half a month already, over half a month, and I don't have the Dragon of the Month. To be fair, I haven't been logging into DML quite as much as I usually do, but it happens. So don't think that you are alone if you're having some crappy luck at the moment. You know, that's just how RNG works. You can't really do anything about the odds. All that you can do is rebreed as many times as you possibly can. Because, I mean, the only thing that's going to really change how I guess how likely you are to actually do something is going to be increasing your dragon's levels when you breed. Apart from that, nothing else is really going to make much of a difference. So you just gotta hope and pray that you're gonna get lucky. I know that some people, when it comes to breeding certain dragons, they don't like to level up their breeding dragons in case they get a lot of rares. Because obviously if you level up your dragons, then there's a higher chance of you breeding epics, there's a higher chance of you breeding rares, but that also means that there's a higher chance of you breeding the legendaries or divines, depending on what kind of special breeding event it is. And so, a lot of people like to question whether it's worth leveling up your dragons to increase the chance of getting legendaries, if it also increases your chances of getting epics. I think it does, because for example, the actual odds of getting the full dragon this time are so incredibly low that just increasing the actual odds of getting the full dragon, I think, is really important. And remember, whenever we see the breeding calculator say something like 0.6% chance or 3% chance, you gotta remember that those are base odds, because we've never actually been given the exact odds that leveling up dragons gives us. So those are the base odds. If you level up your dragons, your chances of breeding certain dragons will be higher, depending on what its level is. Like if you're using level 4 dragons, for example, then your chances of breeding everything is probably going to stay at that base 0.6. But who knows? If you actually level them up to, again, my recommended is about level 15 plus minimum, because after all these years, that has been successful for me and the people that, I've interacted with. Very successful over time, but you just gotta keep rebreeding, is basically what I'm trying to say, because so many people, they'll rebreed about 10 times and then they'll get bored and then they'll stop doing it as often and then they'll complain about how their luck is really, really bad. But in actuality, some people will sit there and they will rebreed all the time. They will rebreed 4 times a day, every single day for a full month. And they might not only get it until the second last day of the month. Sometimes the game just really likes to force you to work for it, Not anything that you did wrong, but RNG just pulls the odds straight out of the RNG bucket. So if your odds of getting the Dragon of the Month are 8%, you still might not get that Dragon of the Month in the entire month, even when you've been breeding it. Nothing that you can do is going to change how RNG works. And it is a sad story, but that's just what DML is. If you don't like that, I guess you should probably be playing a different game by this point, because we know how it works. I just wish that we had those actual odds. You know how long I've been waiting to get the actual concrete odds given to us? Years. Literally since the first day I started playing this game, I wanted to know what they are for increasing breeding level, and they have never given them to us. That feels pretty bad, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Does miff me off a little bit. It's like, do you think on DML's deathbed they'll finally release them? And then it's like, oh yeah, the increased odds actually that it's by 0.5%. Imagine if they did that. Can you imagine? I mean, I'd still take it. Like, if it was, say, for the full dragon, it's like, if you leveled up your dragons, you get a 0.5% increased chance. I'll take it. I will take it. Even if it's a tiny bit, I will take it, because, say, instead of 0.6%, then they become like 1.1%. That's double. That's double. I'd take that. But I don't think it is quite that low. I think it is slightly higher than that, but I don't think it's a tremendous amount. Because, like, you don't have to level up your dragons when you're breeding these things, and it doesn't mean that you won't get it. It just means that your odds are lower. And in a game about breeding, and you should probably take advantage of increasing your odds as much as you possibly can. So, I guess that's the gist of everything that I wanted to say for now. So best of luck breeding this guy tomorrow. Get all of your stuff prepped. Make sure you don't have long stuff in your farms and things like that, because you don't want to screw yourself over in the solo event, because you need that Scarf Dragon. But anyway, for now, I appreciate you being here. I hope you have some lovely breeding luck. And like I said, make sure you come join me tomorrow at 12 BST if you wanna, but I would appreciate you being here. So, thank you, and until next time, I will see you then.